It is part 2 of our Women of Boomerz Boxing Gym, I guess special we'll call it. And because it is a special episode, we told Shane he couldn't lead this time. So I am leading today, and everybody, we're back here at Kellogg's, 100 Kellogg's in Clubhouse. I should never lead again, let's just start with that. We do have Coach Heather here from Boomerz, and we have Kim here. They just got back from BC with Megan and Sarah, who you guys all competed down there, and so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You guys have some pretty cool t-shirts you brought down there, right? What was like the team name or thought you had behind that?
Well, we were looking to raise some funds to help us fund our trip. We kind of called ourselves the BC Baddies.
BC Baddies, I like it.
Baddies, that was our chat name. So we had all the girls who were competing. We got custom t-shirts made, and yeah.
It's cool showing up like a team like that and showing out for everybody else that's there and be like, you guys should have done this. Look how cool we look, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice to know who's in your corner when you're fighting, who to look for too, right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, Heather, I have had the pleasure of hitting you while you hold the pads and you say harder, and I realized that I hit you the hardest I possibly could, and it was a little bit embarrassing. Kim, I've only seen you train at the gym. I haven't actually worked directly with you. But what I've heard from the coaches there and all the feedback is both of you are instrumental to the women's program there. So how did each of you get involved in boxing and combat sports in general? Because I know, like, I've seen Kim kick. Like, Kim's not just a boxer.
So I did Taekwondo since I was a kid. I started at 13 years old, and I stopped after I had my daughter. About 6 years ago, and then I had my son as well, and I saw this Instagram reel of this really cool looking boxer, and I thought, that looks like fun.
Yeah.
So the next day I showed up to a boxing club, and I decided to be a boxer.
I mean, that's really all it takes, right? You just rip the Band-Aid off and move right in.
Yeah, just get right in there.
Yeah.
Did you ever like catch yourself when you're in there, like almost want to throw a quick kick, right?
Yeah, at first it was really hard not to kick.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in that fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
But now I'm looking to combine the two together, so we'll see how that goes.
You're going down that kickboxing route potentially.
Yes.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
And I think you're being humble, and all the things that lead up to it, you kind of like minimize to like what you're talking about, because obviously there's lots of decisions that get made before you just like walk into a boxing gym and you start getting hit, and you know, what are some of the other like things that went through your mind? Like, I can tell you, like, from experience, the first time I walked in, I was like, I don't think I belong here. Like, I know that I do not belong here, but the coaches at Boomerz made it very comfortable instantly, and like, you know, like I said on the first show in this series and this one, skill level does not matter, compete level matters. As long as you're willing to compete and put in the effort, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially coming back into it with myself being a mother.
Yeah.
And being a little bit older, getting into boxing, I kept thinking to myself at first, am I too old for this? And people were saying that, but then I decided, no, I'm just gonna push past that. I'm never too old.
Yeah. Well, like, age is a mindset, right? Like, it's what's in your mind, and like, looking at you, like, you look like you're like 22. So like, age from a vision, like, people would not see that from you. But yeah, you have to get over that. Is like, am I like, what are my kids gonna think if they see me with a black eye? Or like, you know, what is your husband, what is my wife gonna think when I come home and my ribs are all bruised because Chad punched me every Sunday morning in the ribs to make sure that I drop my elbows?
Just cover your body. It's that simple.
Well, hey, I'm just saying, like, what are you gonna think when you have all those things happening? And like, those are all the things racing through your mind. So the first time you go into a boxing gym, those are the things that are on your mind, and you know, then you also have to concentrate on like what you're doing also, which is like, that's a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, even like Nick, you know, your kid there. What is his experience? Like, I've seen he's getting into boxing now, right? Like, he likes it. He wants to get hit and wants to do some hitting himself. But was it initially him coming, or you coming home with a black eye or a bloody nose? Was that hard for him?
No, not originally. No. Like, I find for me, like, consistency is something that was winning. Like, my kids came just to come and watch and hang out at the gym, and then eventually they started trying it. My daughter Leah, she's been. I have pictures of Boomer from original Boomerz of Lawrence holding her when she was like 2 months old. So it's I don't know. It's just it's a very empowering environment, and I don't know. My kids walk through the doors and they feel like rock stars.
Right.
They feel like champions.
That's a nice segue you mentioned there. We're talking about, Boomerz holding your kid. You've been around this group for a very long time.
Yes.
And in talking about the instrumental that you are for everybody that's there, what is it like? I mean, you're your own legend right now. Like, you really are among the women group. People talk really highly of you when it comes to coaching and going over it and still competing. I mean, you still have that passion to get out there and into the ring too. That's awesome.
I do. Thank you. Like I heard earlier mentioning about Fight to End. Fight to End is what got me back into competing again. I started helping out with the coaching and just watching the fighters go through their process and being able to go with them through their journey and me, I was like, I want to do that again. So I started training again. I had an 8-year layoff, and I started training again 2 years ago. Started originally helping out with Fight to End, and the rest is history. I compete as well now, and I do coaching. I'm also an official.
Okay.
I absolutely love this sport and everything about it. So, yeah.
It's crazy you said about like how Fight to End kind of got me back. Like that's how like Shane decided he was gonna do this and Fight to End, and I was like, all right. So he's like, Chad, like you used to train. Do you want to come help me out?
Nice.
And like the very first like time we put the gloves on, I was like, okay, I have to go do this all over again. Like at that point, it's been like 7 years for me that I've ever really done anything, and it was like, now I'm there 3-4 times a week, and like now I'm debating if I want to do it again.
Yep.
So it's crazy how like you said the same thing, like you just hop back in, like you get that itch instantly.
Absolutely.
When I reached out to you about coming on the show, the one thing you brought up to me was it's really cool where the sport is now. You've been doing it for 20 years.
Yep.
And the sport wasn't there for females yet 20 years ago. And I would say this is not just for boxing. I think it's in all sports in general. Prime example I think is like college women's basketball has just gone to a whole new level. And women like this year had a higher viewership rating than the men's March Madness. Women's sports in general has just gone through the roof, and now like you're seeing it on your sport, and like MMA, boxing, it's got to be a really cool feeling to you. Like, unfortunately, now you're kind of getting to the tail end of your boxing career.
Yes.
But like, there's a whole lineup of females now who want to be in combat sports.
Yes, absolutely. It's like I have found we have a really great women's program and a kids program, and it's just seeing people come in and trying something new, and I don't know, it just trying something new and you end up enjoying something that you maybe thought you wouldn't. So.
Yeah.
Well, the 8-year layoff that you had, right? Like, what was it like coming back? I always talk about the changes in every sport whenever we talk to anybody, but there must have been something that had changed in that 8 years that you come back to the sport and go, well, you guys do it this way now, and it's way more effective, right?
Yes, I would say, like, I find for me, for me coming back after being off that long, it was really, really frustrating, but because my body wouldn't move the same way that it used to when I used to compete many years ago. Like, I'm 43 years old now. Like, I'm kind of coming close to the end of my boxing career. Honestly, I never thought I would get back to where I did when I stopped. Yeah, it's a process, and again, I just keep saying consistency wins.
Right.
It's you just keep showing up, and it's like, oh, okay, and then the weight will come off. You'll make small gains, and just the environment's unreal. It's just it's a great team. We just kind of help build each other up.
It's a mental game, right? Like you're saying 8 years later you decided to get into it, and it'd be very easy to give up after the first month of you see this much progress when you're used to seeing this much progress, but you stick with it, you continue to do it, and then like, what was your mindset when you got your first fight coming back?
My mindset, first coming back, I was scared. I was scared. I was excited. I had done it before, but again, a different age. But it was incredible. It was incredible, and we had our females competing in BC a couple weeks ago, which that was my second time back in the ring after. And yeah, it's a wonderful feeling.
And you're not shying away. Like, you fought somebody in BC that is very well known and very good. So it's not as if you're like, oh, I got back in here, I'm going to try and find slouch fights just to keep myself floating here. You're trying to find fighters, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So you had a good experience there? Got popped a couple times?
It was we always say, so I did not come up with the W on that fight, but it's not about winning or losing. It's, I lost that fight, but I gained a lot of experience, and it was a learning experience for me. I fought the 2023 national champion of Calgary, who had 71 fights, so I did pretty good. I didn't get knocked out, and just the whole experience was wonderful.
So like on the first show, the girls were saying about how as a team you kind of all came together in BC, and like by the sounds of it, it's an experience they're never going to forget, and it's not because of the fights, it's because of the team that you guys had going out there and the relationship that you built out there. Obviously, I'd love to hear your guys' experience from that trip with that group of girls.
Oh, it was amazing. We were a family before, but we were even tighter knit coming home. Like, we all supported each other, we grocery shopped together, we cooked together, like, we were a team.
Well, Meg and Sarah made it seem like you guys might have had bunk beds because there's more room for activities that way. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time. It was fantastic.
And who was the fighter that you matched up with out in BC? What was that like?
Oh, so I fought a girl that was in university for boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Yeah, it was a good time.
Quick hands then, right?
Oh yeah, she just kept coming.
That's cool.
She kept moving forward, and I was like, ooh, okay, all right, let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's boxing, like, you have a win-loss record, but it's not about winning and losing. It's, what kind of a performance did you put together? Did you execute the game plan that was put together for you? Were you able to take your training from the gym and put it into the ring? And like, you just have to leave the ring thinking that you left it all in there. And like, as long as you left it all in there, then, I mean, both people win. I mean, that's
exactly
that was my experience in boxing.
And it's like, how did I prepare? Did I prepare to the best of my ability, considering my circumstances?
Right.
And how did I recompose myself in the ring? Like, how did I learn? How did I perform instead of win or lose? How do I become a better fighter from this?
Yeah. And like, as you prepare for the fight, like, my wife was very helpful in making sure that she took care of the kids so that I could get up at 5, 6 a.m. to go train with Chad and train with Mark and make sure that I was getting the most out of the training that I needed to. Like, how do the husbands factor into this? Like, they're kind of like the silent heroes in this that, I mean, we're not going to give them hero, I guess, because we don't want their heads to get too big, but like, they're the silent partners in this that are making sure that you can get out there and do this, right?
Absolutely. Like, my kids are young, they're 4 and 6 years old, and it's tough right now.
Yeah.
I'm working, he's working, and we basically have a schedule and make sure that I get to train, get to do the things that I need to do. But he definitely took on the kids and the household and everything while I was away, and did renovations as well. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, those are brownie points, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I feel useless right now.
Yeah, right. Now, do either of the significant others, like, are they involved in boxing at all, or are they just supporters?
Just when they get angry at home, right?
Yeah.
Supporters. My husband plays hockey, but he's very supportive in my boxing career. And
boxes with the boys in the dressing room.
Yeah.
That's good. So the BC trip, I mean, we haven't heard anything but good stuff from the BC trip, and coming off the adrenaline of that.
Even the halftime shows were great, right?
Yeah, they were great.
Just recovering the bodies right now, but like, what is next? I mean, is there another fight on the horizon for you, or are you just kind of like weighing your options right now? Like, where are we at?
There is, for me, I am fighting again on June 22nd. I'm kind of, for me, I'm at the age now where I'm 43 years old. I've got maybe a year and a half left of maybe competing for me before it's age does play a little bit of a factor, but looking forward to June 22nd. Going to be fighting in Oakville, and yeah.
And I think Sarah had mentioned that there is a change to the gear, the headgear that's happening.
Yes.
Is this going to be did the change already happen at this fight upcoming, or?
So the change was supposed to this is going to be the first fight for me that I'll be wearing a headgear with cheek protectors, and I'm in the Masters division. So up until actually age 45, the rounds are still 2 minutes, but after that the rounds go up to 1.5 minutes for Masters. Fighting, and then I have the 16-ounce gloves and the headgear with cheek protectors, which I'll have to get used to because
We heard you're not happy with it.
I've never worn cheek protectors.
Even in sparring?
Nothing.
Really?
I've never worn them. So it was. I've been wearing my headgear around my house, trying to look for the blind spots and stuff.
Did you find it really affected your vision looking forward? Because you can't see down, obviously.
Yes, for me, I found that it affected my vision huge. Yeah, I'm not a fan. It'll be something I'll have to get used to. But
you almost have to decide where to put your gloves now, because you don't need them there as much, right? Do you go higher or do you go lower? I'm not going to give away your strategy,
Philly
but
style.
Yeah, okay.
There's different styles.
What is that? What does that mean? Philly style. I've never heard of that
Philly
before.
shell. So it's just a different type of stance.
Okay.
Like defensive stance.
It's what Dion uses if you ever go to the gym.
Okay. Cool.
Southpaw. She's a southpaw.
Southpaw. Hard to get ready
Dangerous
for.
southpaw.
Can't prepare for a southpaw.
No?
I don't know, unless you know you're fighting them, I guess.
The last fight, when we went away, I fought another southpaw.
Oh.
And that
Is that
was
a
strange.
first for you?
I fought a southpaw once prior, and it's definitely weird.
I've never fought a southpaw.
Really, eh?
As someone who fights orthodox, I actually really enjoy fighting a southpaw. I find there's so many more openings. I actually have a harder time with an orthodox fighter. Yeah, playing with the hands, it's just. Also, I think because one of my major sparring partners is a southpaw, so I think that really helps out and plays into it.
Yeah.
But my first 2 fights I ever had were against southpaws, and the first one I ever had, I didn't know until I stepped in there. So that was a very quick learning experience.
Yeah.
But the second one was like, wow, I feel a lot more comfortable now. But yeah, actually, I feel as an orthodox fighter, southpaw, I find a few more openings, I guess, unless I see it on a regular basis. But yeah, it's got to be a cool feeling that against a lot of fighters, you have a slight upper hand because they probably haven't got to train with as many people as you.
I would agree with that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you kind of grazed over the question. Do you have a fight coming up, or do you have something kind of on the horizon that you're getting ready for?
Coach Caroline has my name in for end of June and hopefully July.
Okay.
Looking for people.
Oh, so people are dodging you. Yeah, they probably see your Instagram. You're kicking people in there. I saw you kick that thing. I'm not fighting her.
What thing? What happened?
She was kicking
Bob, the dummy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You were feeling, were you? Getting hit with it?
Yeah, if that thing hits you in the face, you're
In
done.
Bob's defense, he doesn't have arms. He can't block.
Yeah, that's true.
You're in big trouble.
Is there a natural evolution for you in that, this kickboxing, finding it and getting to that next level? Who in the area is training that, and how often are you able to get a competitive player against you?
Actually, I recently started training with Chris from Adrenaline MMA in London.
Friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah, so he's fantastic and has been kind of showing me the ropes lately, and it's been really good.
Yeah. Is there a good amount of women that are in kickboxing in the area, or you're going to have to go pretty far for that?
It seems as though there's actually more female kickboxers than I had expected.
Really?
That's
there's actually one from Adrenaline that comes to Boomerz, and we kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
Working together just to kind of prepare each other for fights and stuff. So yeah, it's good.
And as a coach, is that something that I know you're a traditional boxer, but is that something you say to yourself, maybe when I'm not boxing anymore, wouldn't mind getting into that kickboxing aspect?
Nope.
Not at all, eh?
I got bad hips,
Yeah.
bad hips and bad knees.
Yeah.
Nope, that's a hard no for me.
Yeah.
But
That's why I started boxing. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't kick no more.
I eliminate the lower body and just have the upper
I
stuff,
can't
right?
kick anymore. I
For me,
definitely can't take
it was a
kick.
hurdle getting over getting punched. Like, that's fine. You get used to getting punched. I'm not sure I can get used to getting punched and kicked at the same time. Like, that's a lot of work.
Well, and that actually leads me to the next question. The hardest place you've been hit, it's not always the face, right? So where are the hardest places you've been connected on?
Yeah.
Liver.
The liver shot, yeah?
Yes. Natasha Spence. She actually comes to our club as well. She's one of the pros, and last time I sparred with her, she got me again. The body shots can be pretty tricky, a little painful. Liver.
Those are the ones that tend to linger, right? They hit initially and then they last longer than a black eye as far as the feeling goes, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta have a tight guard.
The worst body shot that I got hit with, it was one of the guys that goes to Boomerz, and I can't think of his name, but he was wearing a polo shirt and cargo shorts, so he wasn't even dressed to do this.
So you thought you were
no.
chewing.
So Mark's like, "Hey, Shane, you're in." I was like, I looked up, I'm like, oh God, this guy's not even, he's gonna kill me. He's not even dressed to be here. Like, clearly Mark knows something that I don't.
He's so good, he doesn't have
we're
to
in
wear
there,
these
like, whatever, I'm protecting my head good, and then like he hits me in the, I was, oh, when does the round end? Can we end this thing now? This is unbelievable.
You had the same
Go
thing with
back
liver
on
shot or stomach shot for you? As a hard one.
Stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Taekwondo kind of prepared me for it.
Yeah.
Constantly getting kicked, right? So.
Is that the base of Taekwondo? Is a lot of midsection kicks, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you got to be ready for it. Like
I have an idea. Why don't we let Kaylin get hit in the body and in the face, and he can see which one hurts more?
which one do you want? Do you want his face or his body?
You can pick your shot.
Come on! Come on,
Okay.
there we go, yeah.
That means you got his face.
The silent
One
killer
head
over
kick.
here.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Show off those Taekwondo skills.
Yeah, both these assassins are gonna get you.
All right.
We're ready for that. So
We need clicks.
yeah, it's all about the clicks. We've been talking about boxing for a while and trying to get to the bottom of what gets somebody into the gym every day when they don't have a fight coming up. Like, you don't know that 13 weeks from now you have a fight, and you don't know that 8 weeks from now you have a fight. Like, what gets you up every morning to the gym at 5 a.m. to start hitting and kicking and punching and whatever you're doing?
So for me, it's even if I don't have a bout planned, it's like I know my next opponent is training for this fight that we have, and I just got to be ready.
Right.
You could get called at any time. Hey, a fight dropped in Toronto this weekend. Do you want it?
That's
right?
fair, yeah.
So it's like you got to stay ready, and I feel like you kind of fall in love with the lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
Like, doing the road work, doing the workouts, and going to the gym for the people as well, like the team. It's an environment.
Right.
Have you fallen into that open status now where like you've done your 10 bouts, you can fight whoever you want, or are you still kind of limited right now?
I have 9 bouts currently, so
Whoa.
we're going open really soon. So we're working
Okay.
on that road work right now.
Now, how does that work? Like, does it have to be fully sanctioned big event, or can you just find somebody and say, hey, let's square up and call this 10 right now?
It definitely has to be sanctioned. Otherwise, it's sparring.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that means the time that she punches you in the face is not her 10th fight.
It doesn't count,
That's what she's saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, as your competitor, the person you're fighting is going to be training, and as you get ready for it, that's the thing that I've always told Chad. Like, he's like, "Where are you? It's 6 a.m. I'm at Boomerz. You're not here." I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't have anything to fight. Like,
Is that
I will
peak
be
workout
there
time, morning or evening for you guys?
I don't do that early, but I do the.
You like the morning
and
workout, yeah?
evenings as well, yeah.
I kind of like Meg's idea there where she said she's going to get the hardest part of her day out at 7 o'clock.
I want to make it clear. It's the only time I can train. It's like, that's not my choice.
Yeah, okay.
I just know that if I don't go early in the morning, after work, I'm not going. Like that, I want to make it very, like, no matter where I've worked, I've always trained in the morning, not that early, but it's like, if I don't do it first thing when I wake up, so many other factors will come into my day. And I'm the first to admit, if Shane's like, hey man, want to go grab a beer? I am not saying, I have to go hit the
Bad
bag
influence.
today.
I'm a bad influence.
I know myself better than that. So for me, it's like, okay, I have to go in the morning. And like, now I'm married and I have kids. Like, as you said, like, there's other priorities in life that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
So if I go at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m., so when I get home, like, I'm done. Then like my time goes to my household or my time goes to my work. So I was making it clear, like, I don't want to train at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just, I have to train at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I only did it because we had Fight to End, and like if I did the 5 a.m. or the 6 a.m. class, I could also do my 7 p.m. class and then like feel like I was accomplishing something, and like I had a lot of accomplishing to come. So like that's why I was going, and you know, Chad was supportive and he was helping me out. So I mean, that was why I wanted to do it. So we're getting close to the end of the episode. Kim, you've never watched our episodes before. How do you feel about the show today?
I know I'm going to be watching a lot more episodes. That's for sure.
At least one episode anyways.
That's so kind. Yeah, I thought she was going to say like, "Ugh, I wish I never came." But
No, this is fantastic.
yeah. You know what? Like we appreciate you taking the time. We know that you're busy. Obviously, you're in the gym a lot. You're training a lot. You have families. There's so many things going on, and there's fights coming up. And we have been super supportive of Boomerz, and Boomerz has been super supportive of us. So the opportunity came to bring out the ladies of Boomerz, and like we jumped at it right away. And you know, Chad was like, "Can we do this Monday?" It's like, pick any Monday. I don't care what Monday we're there. Like, just set it up. We'll be there. We appreciate Kellogg's for giving us the space to do it. We appreciate everybody that is watching, all the sponsors, everybody out there. And for anybody that is looking for something to do, definitely check out boxing, check out some combat sports.
Absolutely.
You can see Boomerz. I believe they still have your first classes free. You can just go there and check it out. You should definitely check it out, because if it's the thing that's for you, it's definitely something that can be a life-changing experience. And like I said, we appreciate you coming out. We appreciate all the hard work that you're putting in, and we look forward to seeing what your careers develop into. And for everybody out there, we will see everyone next week.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.